Hi, I'm Angie, and this video is about codependency, narcissism, and how it ties into the spiritual community and twin flames. First off, I feel like that learning about narcissism and codependency is very important for our understanding and growth. But I feel like the way that is being taught to us, the knowledge that we are being given about it, is negative. And I'm really fired up about it, really. It's misleading. It's just contradicting. It's just, I'm really fired up about it. So, if we look at the words narcissism and codependency, it both is the way that we express feelings or handle the feelings of childhood abuse or a relationship of abuse, right? It is our reaction to that abuse. Either we go into a narcissistic behavior, which is, I will be nothing like that, I'm above that, I will be this cut off hard person so nothing can get me walls. Or we go into just trying to do anything to make please them so it won't be bad. Right? It's different ways to handle the reaction to pain. Okay, that's all it is. And both of us, the codependent narcissist, both damaged, both hurt, just handling it in different ways. Now, the way we're taught it is that the narcissistic person, and they will give you all these symptoms of a narcissistic person, which is 99.9% of people of the world today, really. And they'll give you, all these things and so on that makes you even question if you're questioning, am I a narcissist? Am I codependent? Do you know what I mean? And they'll state that you'll even question yourself if you're a narcissistic person, but they twist it all around. But anyway, so this narcissistic person is someone that is a false self. They're cut off from love, compassion, empathy. They're totally cut off to an extreme level. In this extreme level, the only thing they're not able to see their real selves, know what they're doing, and they need you, and the way that they react to you is out of their pain body. And a lot of times it's very harmful and abusive. And they're saying that these people are like evil, like the devil, and there's no hope for them. That's the teaching of it. They have no love, they have no empathy, they have no compassion. They are totally taught to be seen as this negative being. Someone you should fear, someone you should run from, and saying that there's no hope for them. There is no cure for them because they can't even see through the blindness of themselves. Even in the spiritual community, where they're saying that they're simply here to be a trigger, there's no other use for them, and they will die and come back, and hopefully their life will be better the next time. That's all I can say about them. And if we are to have empathy and love for them and feel that we can change these people, then we are just stuck in this brainwashed codependency. So, we're being taught if you're with a narcissist, run, fear, go. We're being taught that is to fear that. Okay? If we're thinking we're a narcissistic person, we're being taught that we are awful. There is no hope for us. We are pure evil. We are the devil. We might as well just kill ourselves and get it over. At the same time, they're giving so many symptoms and not true understanding of what is what, that everybody's doubting they're a narcissistic person, right? So, you're just all tore up. It's teaching on fear and doubt and no hope. the whole subject is when there's such an important message in it. If you look at the world today, my first video I ever made was on this. It was on being stuck in the ego mind and the way the world is today. You know, that so many of us are stuck. Really, it's what it is we're stuck in this extreme masculine energy of survival. We feel that we have to be, in a way, this unloving, unempathetic person to make it, to have praise, to be what you're supposed to be in this world, right? To survive in a corporate world, period, you have to be not, not really care about the person beside you, but kind of walk over them to get to where you need to be. And that's all through life, all the way down to the drug dealer. You know what I mean? It's so embedded in us from the narcissistic codependency, which is from generation of curses. Do you see this? So the whole world is living in this narcissistic reality for survival. Then we're being taught about it as in that this way of being is evil and bad. There's no hope for you. You might as well kill yourself. And if you're a codependent, even on the other side, run from them. Don't love them. Y'all get that? Wow, right? When it's such important information. Okay? Now, see, get that. Fear, doubt. Blocks from your true self. That is all this fear-based stuff is blocks from really looking at your true self. Once again. Okay, the only way to cure either one of these, remember that if you're a narcissist, there's for you. But just in that little bitty percentage of maybe you could make it out of your narcissistic self or codependent, you need to go to self-love. Then, of course you do. But then the big teachers on this subject will totally push down spirituality, which is where you're going to find self-love, right? But they'll be like, ooh-hoo, woo-woo, hippie, blah, 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 like it's negative and bad. They're judging the place you're going to find your self-love. They're teaching you fear, doubt, and then judging the place you're going to find self-love. Once again, just like I got fired up on the twin flame teaching, now I'm getting fired up on the narcissistic teaching. You know what I mean? You really have to go into yourself and have discernment and know your true self to make it in this world. Do you see this? Okay. So, I'm fired up about it. I feel like this is so daggone important. So then I'm researching because the reaction your body has to these being in this narcissistic relationships is everything I've had, right? The isolation, the sickness. Just the other day I was looking, I mentioned, if anybody understood the reason I was getting many physical illnesses through my process, right? Well, boom, it's all over narcissistic and codependency relationships. Narcissistic abuse will come out in a toxic form of a physical manner, right? Because your body's just shut down. It's wore out from all the emotional, physical abuse. That's me. I have physical abuse that wore me down. My adrenaline glands were shot, almost to death. Isolation for 4 years. Just every symptom you could have from narcissistic abuse, I have it. And then I'm watching these people, and some of them have only been in a maybe one narcissistic relationship. Well, I've been in it my whole life, and I've really analyzed these relationships, because when you're looking at this and you're facing this, just like the twin flame, it was when I looked at it, I didn't want to be a twin flame. I didn't want to be stuck in that. So now I'm looking at this, I'm like, I'd rather be a twin flame. I don't want to be stuck in that I was abused my whole life, right? But when I really looked into it, every relationship that I've had was extreme narcissism. Extreme. And I know that that's what's put me to this state, but the whole time I'm not wanting to see the real root of my problem, that I was abused. I don't know. For some reason, to me, that I was abused makes me feel weak. It's like a weakness to me. Because to be able to survive, I had to be strong. You know? Like, you'd be like, these people are all wigging out and all this over one little thing that happened in their childhood. You just gotta go on with that shit. How many of us have told ourselves that? You just gotta go on with that. It's not, be strong. Go on with that. There's nothing else you can do about it. You know what I mean? So for me to seriously look and see that I was being abused, and my whole life I was being abused, to me, I don't know, it makes me feel, I don't like it. It makes me feel like something's wrong with me. But really, I need to accept that, yes, something is wrong with me. Yes, you were abused, and yes, you were blinded by this, but now you're not, okay? And you will not let it happen again. But it's hard to accept. So, that brings me into the spirituality of it and the twin flames verse of it. Because you can listen to all this mumble jumble, but the biggest thing is, if you're feeling bad, if you're questioning to death to the point to where you're researching and you're suffering and all this about a relationship the way we do, there's something up with it. Okay? Like, why did he leave me? Why is he not answering my phone calls? Why has he put me through this? Why does he not love me, in the twin flame relationship? There's something up with that. Many of us are in a narcissistic codependent reaction in a twin flame or soulmate connection. Okay? Now, just because you're having the symptoms of a codependent and narcissistic relationship, it doesn't mean you're a twin flame, and it doesn't mean that you're, I had these soul connections. They were all narcissistic connections, okay? It started with my father. I mean, I could get into how extreme that one is. That's how it started. My only way of knowing love was that narcissistic way of being. So I was attracted to that. The next relationship I went into was extreme physical abuse and emotional abuse to the point to where he almost killed me. And I spoke to him afterwards and letting go, and he told me that he did not care that he did that, you know what I mean, and that it stemmed from his childhood and so on. Total narcissist. Then I go into my husband, which was not a soul connection. I did not love him. That was a 12-year relationship because of a child that I loved. You know what I mean? Total narcissistic relationship. I mean, it ended because I woke him up. He woke up. He woke up in the middle of the night out of his recliner, which he had fell asleep in and slept in for like the last 2 years of our marriage, right? But he woke up screaming at me because I let him sleep in the recliner, so much so that he woke the entire house up. Kids had to go to school. We're all up crying because he fell asleep in the recliner. Do you see this extreme emotional narcissistic abuse? Was not a soulmate. Then from that I went into my twin flame. Okay? Which is, you should not, his biggest message to me was, do not trust anyone. Do not trust anyone. He lied about everything. He questioned, was he a sex addict? I mean, you would not believe the narcissistic traits in him. Okay? So they're all definitely narcissistic relationships. And they all triggered me in different ways. And the twin flame actually triggered me the most. Okay? But there's a difference. Like, there's a difference in the twin flame relationship, even though it's a narcissistic relationship versus the husband relationship that was not even a soul connection at all. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can be in a narcissistic relationship and it be a twin flame, or you can be in a narcissistic relationship and it not be a twin flame. Okay? Yes, they are all. Did my husband trigger me into anything? Not really, no. I have yet to understand the whole concept of that. The twin flame is a trigger, yes. Narcissistic relationship is a trigger, yes. But there is a difference, okay? There's a difference. Just like the twin flame, the last time I spoke to him, your mouth, and I was like, I even said, I was like, are you bringing me into daddy issues now? You know what I mean? I even said that. And short, not many words. And he snapped me right into the understanding that this does all stem, the root of this all does stem from my first relationship with an narcissistic abuse, right? So the twin flame is a stream mature. Okay, we get all that? Were y'all with me? Then we go into, we are not supposed to love these narcissistic people, we're supposed to run. Okay, if you are not awakened and you are not good with discernment, you probably should. Because they're just like my one that almost killed me. You know what I mean? You can really be damaged by these. But I do not feel like I do not feel there is no hope for these people. Because us that are going through the spiritual awakening are waking up to be higher states of beings. Like they say, how did the Egyptians build these pyramids? Well, I think because they were their true selves. They were truly awake. We only use a small percentage of our brain, and as we are waking up, we're using more and more and more of it, right? We're coming to a higher state of being, and the higher state of beings we're having higher understanding, higher gifts to be able to deal with these people around us in this pain. Okay? Like I talked of God love, a higher understanding, a higher capabilities of dealing with these people stuck in this pain. Now, every narcissistic person that I know wanted to not be themselves. They tried to find help, but there was no help for them. Well, I see why. Look at the way they're teaching narcissistic and codependency. 90% of the counselors isn't even teaching on the subject. I see why they didn't have no help, because these people that are teaching on the subject are not awakened. They don't know how to make these people see through the dark blindness that they are in, right? But I do believe that we are coming to the level to help them. If not, how can we help the world? Because 90% of the world is stuck in this pain body of narcissistic personality. Y'all get it? So, when you're questioning, is my twin flame ever going to wake up? What is the purpose for this? Blah, 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 blah. They're triggering you into waking up to this higher state to be able to heal this great amount of pain everybody's stuck in. That roots back to the beginning from birth, and it is generation to generation to generation to create this extreme pain that we are in now. Do you see it? And do you see that looking at this narcissistic codependency terms brings us to understanding of the root cause of our problem, and it brings us to if we understand it correctly, and it brings us to accepting that truly what's going on, that we were truly abused, or we were truly in this level of pain. I mean, we're blocking it like crazy, even though we're on this big path. We're blocking it. Because once again, it's hard to look at ourselves, and in silence is everything. I hope y'all understand all that. Maybe even a little piece of it might click to you and it'll lead you to something else. I mean, like me, I didn't see this, even though I've seen this before, till now. And I know I'm seeing it now because it's of such great importance. And I see why. And I hope you all do too. If you need me, you can reach me at artbyblossom at Yahoo or www.healingwithinus.com. I have sessions on there. Different sessions. And for your first session, I'm doing $22 for 22 minutes for everyone because I feel it's much needed. Talk to y'all soon. I will be going into this more because I feel like it's so important. Maybe just in different ways. I first mentioned narcissism and I lost like 20 people. Maybe because the way it's being taught is so negative and full of doubt and fear. Talk to y'all soon.